Hey guys, what's up? It's Paige. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we are going back to our roots today for the video, and this is just going to be a little bit more of a rant style. I had a conversation earlier with one of my friends who is also quite spiritual, I guess. We just both have a lot of common interests involving like spirituality and astrology and just consciousness and I don't know, just things of that nature and stuff. So we like to get into little topics that, you know, strike our fancy and get our minds going. Today's video actually comes off of the topic I was talking about with her today, which happens to be about being a starseed, indigo child, empath, whatever the flip you want to call it. I just want to call bullshit on it. And I am a very spiritual woke person, you would say, but I don't claim that as like who I am overall, because I've said this multiple times on my channel. We are multi-dimensional beings. And by labeling ourselves by like one genre of, you know, being like, I'm an indigo child or I'm a starseed or whatever it is, you know, you're just creating separation. And I think for the spiritual community, this is something that needs to be talked about so hard, because this is the whole point of spirituality. This is the whole point of this movement of spirituality too, is the idea that we are all one. There is a oneness that connects all of us, which is consciousness. That being said, why do we segregate ourselves into these little categories like, oh, I'm an empath, or I'm a witch, or I'm this, or I'm that, you know, like I'm a healer, or I'm a psychic? I just don't see benefit in that. I really don't. You can have so many abilities. Why limit yourself to claiming one? You know, there is benefits to it. I do see that if you're using labels like that, especially for like using social media stuff, you're trying to create a community based off of your similar interests. I mean, yeah, you know, using those labels very loosely is beneficial, but seeing videos where people explain like, this is what makes you this and this is what makes you that, and this is me versus you kind of mentality, I mean, that's so against the point. And I just wanted to come on here and just, like I said, rant about it, because I just feel like you guys are missing the point. Like I said, like the oneness that connects us all, that makes us all these infinite beings, is within every single person. Honestly, from many books that I've read, they all say the same thing. We all have these abilities within us. Some of us just don't want to claim them, and you know what, that's fine. Go ahead, do your thing, live and let live if we need be, but you know, there is a thing within all of us that holds power. And like I said, and like I will always say, that is consciousness. That is utilizing this idea that you're connected to source and you're connected to the world around you, and utilizing it for all of its power. And if you want to do that, if you really want to do that, if you want to feel that enlightened feeling, that feeling of being yourself, that feeling of being in flow, that feeling of just feeling like you're good enough, you're going to have to remove labels. They don't matter. They never will matter. And the more that you just allow that to be the case, the more that you're going to be able to be the best version of you, and better things will happen to you. And you're just going to understand your own personal power better when you're not trying to use labels to sort yourself into a category away from other people, because like I said, that's just not the point. The other thing I'm noticing is a lot of people getting into spirituality, or spiritual or creative teachings for that matter, or any kind of just creative path really where it's intuitive based. People are saying that is not a way to make money, and I just want to say right now, that's a limiting belief. Like, yeah, you could say that spiritual teachers don't make money, but that in itself is reflecting a belief of that spiritual teacher that they don't fully believe in the law of attraction, which, like I said, what is spirituality? What is consciousness? What are all these things we talk about being parapsychology phenomenons and just supernatural phenomenons? And well, all it is an extended version of us that we physically can't see. We don't see it and observe it the way we observe everything else in this dimension. So I just want to make it really clear that like, you aren't an indigo child, you're not an empath, you're not this, you're not that, you're you, an infinite being in human form for now, and that's what you get to work with. Whatever labels you attach to yourself and throw on yourself, just know that that's another layer you're eventually going to have to peel off, because the labels will never suit you. You will always be changing if you really want to grow and evolve into the highest version of yourself. So never settle for a label that says like, oh, I have to be a specific way, like I can only be like this, or if I'm a little bit like this, there's no way, like, I can't be like that because I'm already this. I mean, do you see how that really just kind of counteracts your open-mindedness? In a way, you're taking those limitations of society that you already broke free of and just replacing them in this new spiritual mindset that you have. So be aware of that. I don't feel like a lot of spiritual gurus, spiritual teachers, or people like me who just like to talk about this stuff really warn people enough about the dangers of placing this old limiting belief in a new situation. Just because you change your environment, just because you change where you are, how you think, how you talk, does not mean you've changed your belief system. So keep that in mind. That is going to be an active act, an active choice that you're going to have to push through. But, you know, like I said, that's the point. You're supposed to feel that oneness. You're supposed to work past this feeling of you versus me that the ego wants and surpass it, like I said, into this place of oneness, wholeness, where you understand that no label is ever going to be enough to describe you, because you are so authentically different yet the same as everyone else. So, and if that doesn't make sense to you, good. It's a paradox. Life is a paradox. So you're at least a step closer to understanding that you're never gonna really know. So using labels and finite definitions of who you are is just, like I said, getting in the way of ultimately who you can be and your full potential. So yeah. I hope this rant helps somebody. Like I said, I was just feeling really empowered to share this message because I just have seen myself get into mindsets where I'm like, oh my God, like, am I an empath? Like, I kind of like how the Starseed sounds, or, you know, it enables that sense of like the grass is always greener, and enables you to not be so present in the moment because you're thinking about, you know, the labels, like, how can I get into that box if I'm in this box? Just unnecessary chaos that this society throws into the mix to kind of confuse you. And you know, it ultimately serves its purpose. This is just a way that we're going to be able to transcend these limiting labels that we have. You know, we've already done it so far with the Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ and all that other stuff. Those all have similar movements to understanding that, y'all, we are all the same person. Regardless how we look, how we talk, how we think, how we feel, we all are connected by this lovely thing called consciousness. And the more that you try to label and segregate that, the further away from the point you're getting. So I hope this video helps somebody, but I'm gonna skedaddle. So if you guys like it and want more of these little rants, I have plenty of stuff to say. So I will be back with another video for sure, but I will see you guys later. Bye for now.